What is going on, everybody? I'm Fuzzy, and today I have something very special for you. It's my Chicken Gambler. Yes, you heard me right, Chicken Gambler. It is my take on a slot machine with the mechanics of Minecraft, powered by chickens. Let me show you how this works. You go ahead and you place your diamonds in the dropper here. This is our payment system. Every button press will have a chance to spawn a single chicken. And that's it. That's the game. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Just kidding. That's not it. Let me show you how this actually works. Alright, to make this machine work, all you have to do is put as many diamonds as you please in this dropper. It will hold the diamonds for you. And you go ahead and press your button. It gives you a chance to spawn a chicken. Now, there is a very low chance to spawn a chicken when you throw an egg, but that's just regular gameplay. But the nice thing about this design is when you win, you're a big winner. That's right, you're a big winner. Because every time you do get a chicken, that's 4 diamonds back to you. So if you're a lucky type of person, this is the game for you. You pay your diamonds. It spawns a chicken. You pay your diamonds. It spawns a chicken. Chicken sets off the redstone. You earn your 4 diamonds. And there you go. That's the basics of the machine. It is rather easy to get very addicted to this game. So please, this is not a gambling machine. This is a fun device. A fun device that we're using for educational purposes, so about learning statistics. Okay? Okay. Alright, to build this farm, we're going to need just a few items. Not that bad. We're going to need a total of 12 observers, 1 sticky piston, 3 droppers, 1 single dispenser, a single piece of string, 1 comparator, 1 immovable block. I chose crying obsidian because I like the way it looks. 1 regular piston, a block of gold, 1 note block, 4 hoppers, 2 chests, a single redstone torch, bucket of lava, 9 pieces of redstone, at least 5 pieces of glass. You may choose to use more if you so deem it fit. And you are going to need a bunch of eggs. This is nowhere near enough eggs to actually make this thing playable, but it's really hard to make 30 chests worth of eggs illustratable. So here you go. Here's a bunch of eggs. And then you also need just a few blocks of choice. I picked out some blocks of iron just for the redstone to go on. You may pick stone or stone bricks. Doesn't really matter. You're never going to see those. And then the nice thing about this design is you can change the way that the outside looks and get a bunch of different variant types. So if you have a bunch of them in the same room, you don't have a bunch of the same colors going on. So I'm just going to illustrate that with white concrete, polished basalt, black stone stairs, and black stone slabs. So once I start framing this thing out, you'll see what I'm talking about here. But let's get into the build. Alright, so for the physical footprint of this farm, it's only 5 wide, but it is 6 deep. You're never going to see anything that you put underneath the ground here unless you are the one retrieving the diamonds. So what I suggest is you find an area that you can fit the 5 wide by 8 deep, but also 6 down. So anything that you may have redstone underneath one of your builds, this is not a good spot for that. Even though it is rather tiny, there is a chance you could possibly fit it in. But yeah, just to be safe, just find a spot that's got a clearing of 6 deep, 5 wide, by 8 deep as well. So I'm going to dig this out by 6. Okay, once you're done with that, you should be left with a 3 by 6 by 6 deep hole. And this gives us plenty of room to fit in our redstone to make this contraption work. Okay, now that we're actually finally ready to do some redstone, we're going to just come to the front face of our future little design here, and we're going to just knock out this little strip right down the middle. It should be 6 long. I'm going to go ahead and put down my iron blocks, followed by my gold block at the very back of the machine. Go ahead and just throw your note block on top of your gold block and set it to whatever chime you want. It really doesn't matter. Whatever sounds aesthetically pleasing to you, that will work. Perfect. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to run our redstone line down the front like this. Go ahead and dig down a couple of blocks because you're going to need to go down and place your observer block on this second block right here. So I just built up a little tiny L shape, little Tetris shape there upside down, so I can sneak underneath here, grab my observer, and place it facing looking up, just like that. So now you should be able to test your redstone chime as soon as you break this. If it dings, you've done it right. And that part is done there. The next thing we're going to want to do is place a temporary block right behind this observer, and we're going to grab our piston, and our piston is going to go on top of the gold block facing up, and then we're going to get our immovable. Once you've placed your immovable block, next thing you're going to do is just simply place a torch on the piston facing the observer. Should make another ding. If it does, you've done it right. Next thing you want to do is come around to the back side of that temporary gold block. You can go ahead and break that out once you've placed a block on top of it, just like that. Next, what we're going to need is some redstone and glass to actually make our filtering system. So the way that I like to do this is you put down a piece of redstone, come to the very back side here, look right at the redstone dust, might be a little bit tricky, and place your glass going into it just like that. Next, what you're going to do is just place another piece of glass on the other side of the immovable block right here. Throw some redstone dust going up, and it should link up just like that. Next, we're going to grab our comparator, put it facing backwards on top of your immovable block, and then go ahead and grab just a couple of solid blocks, put them on top of the redstone torch just like that. Next, what we're going to want to do is we're going to dig out a little spot for our filter hoppers to go into. So we're going to do that right here in the front. So we're going to dig out 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if it would be more helpful, you can go ahead and dig this out. You can always put it back when you're done with it later, but it doesn't really matter. It works either way. So what you're going to want to make sure you do is you put your chest 1 block higher than your observer. So 1 block higher and 1 in front, just like that. And then you want to grab your hoppers, and your hoppers are all going to be facing forwards. So that one is placed into the chest. That way your money can actually get into the chest. And then you probably want to put some blocks back down on here just for the moment. And you're going to want to face your other hoppers into those blocks just like this. And now that you've done that, this is all done. You can go ahead and throw this back in. You don't need to look at it again. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do before we move on any further is we're going to want to make sure that we have just any sort of junk item that you can think of, and you're just going to rename it. Doesn't matter what you rename it to. I just like to call them blocks because that's what they are. They're just a block. So if you go ahead and just grab some and put them in this top hopper here, you'll notice that the comparator lights up, but nothing actually goes through if you have under the amount. So I start by putting a half a stack in there, and then I just like to fill in a little bit more, and this number here that is 32 should read 41. So we just grab enough blocks, or enough items rather, to make sure that this first number is 41, and then we just fill in the rest. So what that's basically doing is I can now put 1 diamond in this here, and at any time I put in 1 more diamond, you'll see that it just sucks it right out. Congratulations, your item filter works. And then to retrieve the diamonds, like I said, this is something that is going to be different for everybody's world. For me, it doesn't really matter if this is my testing world. You're going to want to put an entrance of some kind getting underneath your machine so you can retrieve all of your diamonds. Alright, so moving on to this next little part here, all we have to do is just go ahead and make a little box around this center block here. This is actually going to be where your lava is going to go. We're not going to put it in there just yet because we want to make sure that we're doing this in a very safe manner. So we're going to build a couple of temporary blocks here. We're going to go ahead and dig down again. Go ahead and grab your dropper. If you wanted to stand on your chest, it's actually a really good spot. Go ahead and stand on your chest facing up, place your dropper facing down. There should be a 1 block gap between your dropper and your hopper. If you don't do this, anytime you put any items inside of this dropper, they will immediately suck out. This is a way that we can put the button on there, and every time we push the button, it will dispense 1 diamond. Disclaimer, I forgot to mention the button in the intro to this video. I'm so sorry. So once you've got your dropper placed, go ahead and just throw your button right on top of there. Break these blocks out. You don't need them anymore. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put that lava in. We're going to fill this back in. Don't need that anymore. So what we got to do is we're going to put our lava in there, and it should flow forward over that hopper. What this is going to let happen is anytime that we put in a diamond and press our button, you'll hear that it gets picked up, no problem. But anytime there's a junk item, someone's trying to scam your machine, absolutely nothing happens. Hoppers don't pick it up because it's not looking for dirt, it's not looking for any other crappy items, it's only looking for diamonds, so that actually gets chewed up by the lava. Alright, so moving on from there, we're going to put in our win conditions and our chicken dispenser systems now. So what we're going to start off by doing is we're going to take an observer and put it on the block behind where the lava is. Go ahead and throw your string on the front face of that, so then anytime that something falls into the lava here and trips this string, it will give an output redstone signal here. So we're going to grab another solid block, put it right behind that observer, piece of redstone dust, an observer facing down just like that with a piece of redstone dust on the top side just like this. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring over a couple of blocks just on the side of this redstone here, just like that. So we're going to grab a couple of droppers next. This is actually going to be what pays the people. So these are going to face upwards just like that. Next, what we're going to want to do is grab 8 observers, and we're going to face them down into this last piece of redstone dust here at the bottom of our pit. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, just like that. Next, what we're going to need is our sticky piston. And we're going to put our sticky piston facing towards the front of the machine. We're going to put it facing this way, and we're just going to point an observer right into that block. Next, go ahead and grab a temporary block, put it on the back side of that observer, and make sure that you don't accidentally grab a dropper for this next part, because if you do, your whole machine will not work. Go ahead and put a dispenser facing out towards the player on this temporary block. Go ahead and break that out of there. Basically, all we've done here is when anytime an item travels in front of here, it will send a redstone signal up and out to pay the people. Since there's nothing in here right now, nothing came out. But that is all that we did. And then this is the chicken delivery system. So what we're going to want to do is, the way that you can do this, if this isn't at your base, you can do this in a couple of different ways. But if it is, you could attach a chicken egg farm to this. That way you wouldn't have to ever worry about restocking it. But just go ahead and put a hopper on the top. If you don't have a chicken farm anywhere close by, this is the box where your eggs are going to go. All eggs into here, they'll end up in this dispenser, they'll shoot out, and the game will work perfectly. So once you've got all your eggs in order, like I said, you can do this in a few different ways. If you have a chicken farm close to where you're going to be building this, you can just feed all of your drops into this top chest here. I don't have one close by, so I'm just going to add a bunch of eggs to this machine. And theoretically, this machine for the redstone part of things is technically done. So if we went ahead and just go and push our button here, should display our diamond, we'll hear a ding, and it'll shoot an egg off into the distance. No chickens though. So this is it. This is the machine. It's all done. We just have to decorate it and make it look like an awesome slot machine. So what I like to do is I like to come over here and just put a bunch of solid blocks surrounding this section here, all the way up to the dispenser. Just like that. And then I'll grab a few glass blocks because, you know, we want to be able to see what's going on inside this contraption. So we'll go ahead and put those up just like this. Grab just a few more solid blocks. Make sure this is filled all the way into the front just like that. And then we can work on our water delivery system for the diamonds right here. Alright, to set up this next part, this is going to allow you, once you get into the backside of your machine here, if you wanted to restock the diamonds, this part's going to be important, so pay attention to this right here. All we have to do for this is just put up a temporary block on each one of those droppers, and I like to go along and put stairs just to help contain the water. For this next part, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add a stair on the back side over here, so that way you can still reach your machine from this back side here, because this is actually going to be all covered up by blocks, and when you come into the back side of your machine, you can just reach inside and you should be able to reach your dropper just like that. So once we go ahead and put our stairs in, we're going to want to also put in some solid blocks up the top side here, and then go ahead and throw a slab on the front just like that. That should prevent any of the water from getting down into the contraption and ruining all your redstone. Just going to make sure that you block all the possible paths off so that way no water can spill down. Go ahead and repeat that on the other side as well. Okay, so once you have your stairs placed down, you are perfectly safe to place the water. The one thing you do have to watch out for is when you're placing the water, don't click on the stair because you will waterlog the stair, water will fall down, it will be a bad day, it won't be fun. So I like to look at the center of the machine, click this block here, water should flow out to the front, just like that, but no water should be able to spill out, and that is just perfect. So the next thing that you can do to help dress this thing up is just put down some form of a pillar on this side here and also out the back. The way that I like to do that is I come out to the back side and I will just put down all of the corners and I will build off of that, which can really help with figuring out what color schemes work and what doesn't. So once you have all of your corner posts in and your slabs and your stairs, go ahead and just grab a solid block of your choosing and go ahead and fill in all of these extra sides just like this to keep peering eyes away. And then to get rid of the dispensers on the sides, to get rid of the droppers on the side, I just like to go and put down a bunch of stairs in the opposing direction, giving it a cool little character just like that. And then once you're done with that side, go ahead and repeat it on this side as well. Okay, now that you have the sides and the faces basically all done and dusted, what we're going to do next is we're going to make a little spot for us to be able to actually get inside this machine and stock it up. Now, I didn't put this in the chest over there because I don't know what everybody likes to use. I personally like to use ladders. Maybe you like to use scaffolding. It really doesn't matter. But as long as you have flush with the back of this farm, you'll have a door of some kind here. I prefer an iron door as well. Also didn't put it in the chest because I don't know what people like to use, but that's what we're doing today, so that's what we're using. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put down your ladders just on the inside just like this. Should have a nice easy access point up into here, and once you're up into this space here, it's very easy to reach over to your droppers to stock them up with diamonds. So you can actually get out of your farm. Okay, now that we're in the final home stretch of this machine, we're just going to decorate it just a little bit further. And like I said before, this is completely up to you guys how you want to decorate it. I just found that this works really well for me. I like the way that it looks, and it still allows the machine to be completely 100% tileable. So just go ahead and put down a few stairs, give it some depth, give it some extra girth there, and then just come up to the top side. You can fill this in if you'd like. And then I prefer to go through on the top of this machine and just slab the ever-living heck out of it. But I do make sure that I put stairs next to my chest. That way nothing on the outside looks off. That way you can't see the chest there, you can't see any of the mechanics or why it's working or how it's working. Just personal choice. Like I said, this next part, all of this is completely up to you and how you choose to build it. And once we get these last few slabs in here, we'll just double check that everything is looking right for our head and we can get in there. We don't have any space issues. Look at that, we can get in, we can reach our droppers, no problemo. And that's perfect. So let's get out of here and stock this thing up. Alright, and to fill this machine, like I said, it's very, very, very simple. Just come in your utility door here in the back, click on your droppers from this back side here, and you will see that it can hold quite a few diamonds. You don't need to stock this thing completely full. If you don't have this many diamonds, totally understandable. I mean, really, who does? If you wanted to put in a stack on each of those, you'd be completely fine. As you make diamonds, you will be able to stock this thing up even further. But yeah, this is completely done and playable at this point here. We just go ahead and add some of our diamonds into the dropper here. And if you are incredibly lucky, and there we go. Incredibly lucky, we got our first chicken. Oh, we got a bonus chicken. Hey, hey, look at that. We just made 8 diamonds back. Lovely. So, yes, just again to reiterate, every single chicken is worth 4 diamonds. Every single chicken that you spawn on the bonus spins, you get an additional 4 diamonds. So it really could be on a winning frenzy. Every time a chicken hits, it will spawn or has a chance to technically spawn another 2 chickens. And if that one spawns a chicken, it could technically spawn another chicken, and so on and so on and so on. But that is incredibly rare. It does happen, but it is incredibly rare. So if you're worried about building this machine and losing all of your diamonds, you have nothing to worry about. But I really, really, really like this game. This is incredibly fun, and it has taken me some time to actually get this thing just the way that I want it for you guys. And if you guys did like it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, make sure to subscribe. But anyways, guys, this is Fuzzy. I'm out. I'll see you next time.